The Boston bomber Tamerlan Tsarnaev was an Alex Jones fan. This is an incredible turn of events. The AP has reported that Boston Marathon suspect Tamerlan Tsarnaev was influenced by conspiracy theories, including the Alex Jones website InfoWars. Now, that website itself has been at the center of a lot of controversy and millions of views for pushing a narrative that the Tsarnaev brothers were patsies set up by a government, by the U.S. government or generally set up by government officials to take the fall for the bombing, and that they are not, in fact, the guilty ones, that it may be a false flag. And now we hear that actually, according to Elmirza Kozugov, the ex-husband of Tamerlan's sister, that Tamerlan took an interest in InfoWars. He also apparently was interested in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, according to the Associated Press report, and he was trying to find a copy of the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, one of the most notorious conspiracy tomes of history that is out there. And Alex Seitz-Wald, who's been on this show, wrote some interesting stuff about this, saying that in the real world, this underscores how dangerous and seductive conspiracy theories can be. The ideology of al-Qaeda, which seems to be the primary influence on the Tsarnaev plot, can be seen as a conspiracy theory in and of itself, which places the U.S. at the center of all evil in the world, right? You could actually understand how somebody could be radicalized by the idea that the al-Qaeda conspiracy, that the al-Qaeda plot to hurt Americans is in and of itself a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and how different is this from some Alex Jones fan who is hoarding tons of guns and completely paranoid, ready to go shoot up a government office because he thinks any number of conspiracy theories about our own government. I mean, it's really not that different.
Well, as soon as I read this, I thought, obviously, Alex Jones is going to say, this is part of the conspiracy. Don't you see? They're trying to discredit me by saying I influenced the guy. And sure enough, within minutes of this Associated Press story breaking, Alex Jones told BuzzFeed's Rosie Gray that it's a conspiracy against him. He actually said, I've seen this before. The federal government trying to connect me to tragedies. That's the media and the government's own conspiracy theories. And Jones compared this situation to when Richard Andrew Poplawski, the Pittsburgh man who killed 3 police officers about 4 years ago, was shown to be a conspiracy theorist who frequently visited Alex Jones's website. He says, it's standard for them to talk to people, go through computers, and anytime someone's done something bad, they connect it to us. So, hey, part of the conspiracy. And Natan, what's amazing is that while this was 100% predictable, people who believe Alex Jones, to them, this fits perfectly, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, conspiracy theorists generally discredit any evidence to the contrary, and they just claim that the absence of a total clear proof, of course, they discount all the evidence of that proof of something having happened the way the official story says, is evidence that, you know, their conspiracy is right. What I will say is in this case, you know, there's always sort of like a gap between the cause and the effect. Like, you can't really say that the conspiracies that these guys bought into sort of caused them to engage in this action. There's
no. Nobody's blaming Alex
I'm not saying
Jones.
that. I'm not saying you're saying that. What I'm saying is there's always a gap. This is nowhere near enough to explain it, because the 99.9% of people who engage in these conspiracy theories don't ever commit a violent act.
No question about it, right, Lewis? Nobody's arguing that.
Right. I mean, just by definition, though, everything Alex Jones does is radical, and far more radical than most of the conspiracy theorists and crazy right-wing nut stuff we hear on a daily basis.